surgeon and yoga consultant. I welcome all in this webinar where Dr. Mr. Mhaskar is going to give his talk. I'll just talk a little bit about the Indian Yoga Association Maharashtra branch. Indian Yoga Association is a association established in Delhi as a central body, and Maharashtra branch or Maharashtra chapter has been established in 2018. And this is the first branch of the IYA Delhi. And we are propagating yoga. So in that, we are trying to reach to the people who are not or reach to unreached people and make them aware of the yoga, because I, being a surgeon, I can definitely talk more on that yoga has got a definite role in keeping yourself healthy. There's no doubt about it. And this should be percolated to all the status and all the students, all the people. So we are practicing and we are trying to propagate yoga in that. IYA is actively working on taking yoga to the different people. So I would like to invite the people to become the member of the IYA. You can become a simple member, or you can, those who are yoga professionals, they can also become yoga members, or institute also they can member. And you can go to the site of Indian Yoga Association website, and from there you can download and you can register yourself and become the member of that. Only you have to mention Maharashtra branch in that. By that, what will happen? Whatever yoga protocol, yoga practicals or yoga webinars we are arranging, that they will reach to you. They will be able to listen to that, and you can definitely practice it in your own life, and you can keep yourself healthy. So this is, we are also publishing Yoga Sindhu every 3 months in a bulletin, in which we are giving the write-ups from different yoga consultants, experts, which are beneficial for the people. And last Sunday of every month, we are keeping a talk on different topics on the yoga by different speakers, which will make the people to understand the yoga and also try to practice it. We are also arranging webinars at zonal region that also you can attend. So I think this much about the IYA. And since all the students, they are from pharmacy, so they are related with the medicine or part of the treatment of the patient. So you will be definitely would like to listen about the yoga, how it can be keep yourself healthy. So I request the next person to introduce the today's speaker, and then he can take the talk ahead. Thank you very much. Hari Om.
Thank you very much, sir. And it is really enlightening thing to know about Indian Yoga Association. And we would definitely remain associated with this body, which is working for the cause of the yoga. Regarding today's session, first of all, on behalf of VS College of Pharmacy and all pharmacy colleges, I express my gratitude to the Indian Yoga Association Maharashtra branch, as well as Ghantali Mitra Mandal Thane, for organizing this session on work-life balance for the pharmacy fraternity. It is my pride and privilege to introduce today's resource person, Shrikrishna Mhaskar Guruji, to all of you all. Sir is currently heading the yoga department of Ghantali Mitra Mandal Thane, and he is also working in the capacity of Secretary, Indian Yoga Association Maharashtra Unit. Professionally, he is working as a freelancer trainer in Forex and DMIT consultant. Qualification-wise, he has completed MCom in Management, LLB, followed by that CAIIB, Diploma in Financial Management, Diploma in Training and Development, further MA in Yoga Shastra. As a passionate yoga practitioner, he has also pursued his Yoga Advanced Teacher's Diploma in Yogic Concept from Indian Yoga Society, Sagar, Madhya Pradesh, in 1981. Thereafter, he has completed diploma in yoga education with specialization in yogic application and theory and practice from Ghantali Mitra Mandal Thane in 1982. He has also completed therapy instructor's course from the same esteemed institute, Ghantali Mitra Mandal, where his specialization was on yoga therapy, anatomy, and physiology. This was 1.5-year duration program, 2008 to 2009. He has also completed a specialized professional training in Stop Diabetes Movement program by S. Vyasa, Bangalore, a very renowned institute. He has done immense work in the field of yoga to spread culture of yoga as a mission. He is associated with Ghantali Mitra Mandal since 1980, initially as a teacher and then heading the examination department for more than 2 decades. Currently, he is associated as a head of the yoga department of Ghantali Mitra Mandal. He has participated in many programs in the field of yoga to serve the community and its welfare. He has also participated in the project of yoga for jail inmate, the inmates in jail, under the leadership of Shri Yogacharya Shri Anna Vyavahare Guruji, founder of Ghantali Mitra Mandal Yoga Vibhag. He has expertise in the teaching, demonstration, and examination in yoga. He has worked as an examiner with Indian Yoga Association at Kaivalya Dham, Mumbai, and Yoga Gurukul, Nasik, for level 1, 2, and 3 examinations of Yoga Certification Board. He has authored a book on yoga, Know Yoga and Live Yoga, published by Ghantali Mitra Mandal Thane. 3rd edition is published recently. So as I mentioned, presently he is working as a secretary of Indian Yoga Association Maharashtra unit. In recognition of his work in the field of yoga, he was awarded with Yoga Ratna by New Age Yoga Mumbai. So we have a very eminent speaker with us today who has given a yoga dan, his life's yoga dan for the field of yoga. And we are very eager to hear from you today, sir, on the topic work-life balance, which is very much required in today's fast world to attain a balance between the professional commitments and the personal commitment. Over to you, sir. Welcome to this session again on behalf of Pharmacy Fraternity.
Hari Om, and thank you for a very nice introduction. Before we start our session, I will give my humble naman to my Guruji, Yogacharya Shrikrishna Vyavahare, because of whom we all are here, to be frank. He has developed us right from scratch, and whatever are now we in position to say something, the major credit goes to him. So, a very humble naman once again to him. When we think of today's topic, work-life balance, it dates me back to Kurukshetra. Work, we normally understand only single word, work. But if you take the notion in Marathi or Sanskrit, there are 3 parallel words to the concept of work: Kriya, Kartavya, and Karma. Kriya, Kartavya, and Karma. These are the 3 words which are giving the same sense like the word work. So, why I am going to talk about this Kurukshetra process? Because Arjun was aware what work he has to do. He was sure that he has to fight. He has to fight with Kaurav and get his Samrajya back. So there was a complete concern about the work which we are supposed to perform. But in spite of that, he was trying to associate that karma with his lifestyle. That was a major problem which he faced on that battlefield. So he was not able to decide what is important, life or my karma. He was knowing what for he is fighting this battle or war. He had to take life of so many people. And at the cost of life of so many people, what he was performing is karma. So he was completely confused. And his position was described by him. Siddhanti mama gatani, mukham ja parishishyati, pepudishi sharir mein roma harshan ja jayate. So actually, this was the first case of psychosis or neurosis, we can say. He was completely equipped with all as a warrior, but his mind was not ready to be a warrior that time. So there was a first clash between life and work. And the position of today is not different than him. Same story is with Ram also. Some people may or may not be knowing, they know about Kurukshetra and Bhagavad Gita and Arjuna and Krishna dialogue. But most of the people are not aware that Ram also had gone into this space. When he had gone for protection of some yajna, of some rishis or sages, he had a long battle with some Rakshas or all these things. So he came back to Ayodhya, and that time he was depressed. He was just thinking, what is the life actually? Why all these things are required? He was supposed to take the oath of his next kingdom as a king. And at that time he said to Dashrath, I am not at all interested to continue. I want to go to Vanvas. I want to go to Chintan. I want to take sannyas. At one side, Arjun getting fixed with life and karma. At second side, Ram getting fixed with life and karma. His karma was to be Rajaputra and rule the king, rule the complete area. But he was going to go away with the basic karma. So there is a life clash. Arjun was taken out by Krishna by a very excellent counseling sessions for 18 days, which we call as the Bhagavad Gita. And Ram was done counseling by Muni Vasishtha, which created a great scripture called Yoga Vasishtha. Everything under the sun has been covered by Vasishtha Muni in that counseling session. Some people may or may not know about Yoga Vasishtha, but everything he has handled. So the clash between life and work is right from that time, and it is continuing till today also. We are in the same roles. Some of us may be fixed as Arjun, some of us may be fixed as Ram, and those who don't know Arjun and Ram, they are fighting with self. So whenever we think about this concept of work-life balance, this particular concept was given by IYA central body. They had given us 6 topics. I suggested them 2 topics, mental balance, mental health, and second was work-life balance. So they told that you can continue with work-life balance. So I just take the madam, and because of her efforts, we are here. And I'm trying to say something about this concept. So primarily when we think of work and life, we have to think it from 2 perspectives. One is life, which is received by us without any demand. Nobody has invited us, but we are invitees because of some 2 great people who did efforts to bring us in this world. So the life is there always. Life is nothing but a distance between or a gap between 2 breaths. A very simple definition of life. We give it a lot of adjectives to life. It is beautiful, it is life, that it is like this, nothing. It is a clear-cut difference between 2 breaths. If my first breath is over and if my second breath is not going to be there, life is going to be over. So life is so small. It's a matter of gap between 2 breaths. It is without choice. But we definitely have to understand this one concept that whenever we see the life, we have to get it connected with the karma vipak. Karma vipak is nothing but extraction of karma which we do as a result. Even though Bhagavad Gita says that you should be able to do Nishkam Karma Yoga, but every work has got some results. When the results are favorable to me, I take the credit of that particular entire process. And if the results are not in my favor, I start finding out who is culprit because of whom my work is not accomplished. So my karma is going to give me some results, definitely. Good or bad is not the issue. You cannot do the karma without effort, without any results. Understanding the concept of karma vipak or nishkam karma yoga, we need to understand one thing. He is not telling you to give away the work. He is not telling you to give away the karma. Karma करने के लिए नहीं बोल रहा है, ऐसा नहीं है. He says karma करना ही है. But while doing that karma, don't take the ownership of doing it. You take the responsibility of doing it. There is a difference between in all these things. So when we are trying to claim the results, it creates the karma vipak, plus or minus. That addition, deletion goes on happening, and we end up this life with some imbalance in that balance sheet. I, being a banker and a person from accounts and finance, believe in balancing, tallying. We cannot complete the paper without tallying the balance sheet. Somehow we have to tally. This somehow word is very typical. It is for the examination process. What about the balancing of the tallying of the balancing of the life? Anybody asks me, Baki kya? You ask each other, no, Baki kya? I always answer Baki Shunya. No Baki. Because I don't know next moment is mine or not. So why to keep anything balanced? If you start thinking from this perspective, then you start thinking the life or looking the life in a different manner. So karma to karna hi hai. You cannot escape from that. Then what is the difference in kriya and kartavya? Kriya is mechanical. Kartavya may be having some element of mind and kriya. But karma is something which is above all these two things. We are always getting engaged in, always getting fixed in two things, kriya and kartavya. मेरी ड्यूटी है तो करना पड़ेगा. Why so helpless? You can give up that duty, no? Who has compelled you? So when it comes to life, to continue my life, to feed my life, to earn some money, to honor the responsibility I have taken in this life, I have to keep on doing this kartavya. But kartavya is always a temporary phenomena. Karma is a long-lasting thing. There is a definite impact of all the three words. Kriya may or may not end up with the good result or bad result. It only mechanical action. Kartavya, you are having the sense of responsibility and you honor the responsibility and you have the little bit sense of accomplishment when you do kartavya. But when you do karma, it is completely different perspective, and that is why we have to understand this concept of work and life balance. Never take the work as a kriya or kartavya. You should always take it as a karma. So when you take it as a karma, you are devoted fully. All your levels of existence, they are connected with this concept of karma. Karma and karma vipak. Why my life is there in this particular birth? Because I have got something which is residual from my last birth. It is said that you get the human life only after passing through 84 lakh species. We don't know what is that. But definitely, those who do punya karma, they get punya in return. They may not necessarily take the human birth. Those who do papa karma, they face the hell on narak. And those who are doing papa punya balance, they are coming to this martyalok. Martyalok means the area where we are living. So our life is nothing but extraction of plus and minuses, which we do in the last birth. There is a concept of Daivi Sampat and Asuri Sampat in Bhagavad Gita. When you are having Daivi Sampat, you are having the possibility of opening the doors of heaven. But before going to heaven, you get this particular birth in such a family who is having a very good background, pious people, without any vices, having virtuous life. And that's why we take birth in a particular family. Why we take birth in a particular family? There is a logic. Those who are giving you the birth, they have their own karma vipak. Because of that karma vipak, they bring you into this world, which is a result of your own karma vipak. That's why you come to their life. And that's why this bonding of karma, karma vipak, and extraction of entire life is nothing but our lives today. And those who are having vices, they are having the doors of narak or hell. They are called Asuri Sampat. Devi Sampat means doing something good and trying to do something good. They get this particular life. So our life is nothing but a gift of my past karmas. Now, how to relinquish this particular thing, how to make the balance sheet nil, or how to ensure that there is no carry forward in this life? That is a major problem. And that is why we are having this topic, work-life balance. So when we understand this concept of karma, kriya, and kartavya, we have to associate this particular thing with our day-to-day life. What is my life today? Everybody says that it is stressful. There is no charm in the life. Everything is so negative that we are not going to take anything which is positive, which can make me to live today. But in spite of that, we live every day. We keep on saying these things. Life is having no charm and all these things, but still we live because we know that this is the life. So take the life as it comes. Now, the concept of individual and surrounding, that also we need to understand. Whenever I, as an individual, try to understand my life, I look it from the different perspective. I look it as a gift. Nobody can disturb my life unless I allow it. A very simple bottom line which I have drawn since long years. Nobody can disturb me unless I allow me to get disturbed. So whenever you are having this type of tendency of blaming somebody else, that time you have to understand that this particular concept of blaming others is not going to work every time. Whenever you do anything, work as a maybe as a kriya, kartavya, or karma, whatever. That time you have to own that responsibility that it is done by me, maybe for my son, maybe for my daughter, maybe for my wife, or anybody not even related to me. So when all these things are done, I expect something from that person for whom I am working. The class starts from that point. When I expect that somebody should appreciate me, somebody should say thank you to me. Why? There is no question of saying thank you. We keep it as a manner. As a manners, we say, keep on things, thank you, sorry, everything is okay. So that sense of gratitude, when it's worded, I get sense of accomplishment. When not worded, somebody just looks me with the gratitude, I am not able to understand or read his eyes. Well, I want to hear that word from the ears. Thank you very much. I want to hear that. But he says it by his eyes. That we don't understand. So life and work are entangled to each other in such a way that you really cannot differentiate between them. Now, the problem starts by two things: expectations and frustrations. The balance between life and work is getting disturbed because of two things. Expectations, that is your credit side, it keeps on adding, and frustration is your debit side, keep on adding. So when these two things are going hand in hand, when I expect and I don't get any addition in the expectation side, my debit side of frustration increases. When I am not getting frustrated, my expectation keep on piling. And interestingly, all expectations not necessarily are accomplished. We keep on expecting from everybody. How many times we expect from the self? When you start expecting from the self, then there is no balance or there is no imbalance. It will not get added either to debit side or to credit side. Because when I expect from me, who is going to accomplish, who is going to acknowledge? Only me. But how many times we do it? Because we are not taught to do that. Unfortunate part is that our upbringing is such that we are taught that you have to live for this person, you have to live for that person. जब हम बच्चे रहते हैं तो माता पिता का आदर करना पड़ता है, उनके लिए जीते हैं, भाई बहन होते हैं उनके लिए रहते हैं. When we get on our own, we bring some invited issues in the house in the form of wife or marriage. We have to live for her. Then for kids we have to live. Once they are grown up, we have to make them stand on their own feet, and then we are living entire life for somebody. And when that somebody is not as per my expectation, as per my requirement, I start getting the feeling of imbalance in my lifestyle and in my work style. So considering my entire life scale, if we see how this imbalance starts from the upbringing process. When your family is trying to tell you every time about sacrifice is the only thing in the world, you should always sacrifice the good things. You should not be greedy. So sacrificing everything, it becomes my tendency. And when I start sacrificing, at second side, my mind is keeping on tinkling inside that when I sacrifice, somebody should compensate. So when the compensation and sacrifice are going parallelly, they never meet. So again, sacrifice, expectation, frustration, and acknowledgement. These are the four factors which keep on hampering my life. So my life gets disturbed because of all these things. And that is how, whenever we are working, before work, we go with the studies. Admission in my own channel, admission in my own college, wherever I want to get graduated. If I get it, I feel my life accomplished. If I don't, I keep on dragging the life. So this particular expectations is the major key which keeps us always imbalanced on these two fronts. Whenever we are trying to cope up with this, there are so many advisors who advise us in otherwise or other manner, or we can say. So they don't give us proper advice. You want to go to east and they will send you the address of west. So our solution finding is happening like that. They're having the map of London in my hand. I'm trying to search that map in America. So that is the problem everybody of us facing. So expectation from the life, expectation from the surrounding, expectation from self. All these things keep on pressurizing my life. And because of that, my mindset gets changed. So as I said some time back, unless you allow, nobody can disturb you. So why I allow them? A very interesting point, why I allow others to disturb my life? Because I know that they are disturbing my life. They are having no validation in my life. Still I allow it. Why? A major question we want to answer in remaining time is that why I do that? Because by doing that, I start extracting energy from outsiders. I show that I'm weak. You do whatever you want. I can't help. So when you go to that mindset, you definitely start getting sympathy from others. Sympathy is available free of cost. Correct? And people are showing a lot of sympathy, but nobody comes to your rescue. Remember this thing very clearly. Again, a very small thread line is in between. Sympathy and compassion. These are two different things. Compassion is not shown. It is expressed by action. And sympathy is only shown without action. And we live maximum number of times on the sympathy than compassion. And that is why I keep on extracting the energy from outsiders or from others. And that's why I am getting disturbed by everybody. When I expect from 10 people some sympathy, and out of that, suppose 4 people don't show any sympathy or they behave rudely, my life balance goes down. So the imbalance is nothing but my own behavioral pattern, my own thinking process, because of which I keep on getting dragged into this vicious circle. How it starts? A very interesting concept. Now we are trying to understand this concept from yogic perspective. You know that in yoga there are various levels of our existence. This particular concept of work-life balance is nothing but the imbalance in my existence levels, which is called as a Panchakosh concept. Panchakosh is that concept which is expressed or described in Taittiriya Upanishad, where they say that we have got 5 levels of our existence and they start from gross and they end to subtle. So what is my existence? My life? It is my seen body. My physical existence is called an Annamaya Kosh. It is nourished on some energies. 3 energies we require: air, water, and food. Annamaya Kosh is the gross thing. People know me by structure, know me by face, whatever way. So Annamaya Kosh is my basic existence. Then it is seen as an Annamaya Kosh because of second concept, that is called a Pranamaya Kosh. Unless that Pranamaya Kosh is understood, I cannot understand my body. So prana is nothing but a vital energy which keeps us alive. The moment prana goes away from the body, I become nishpran. My entire existence becomes completely nonsense. Whenever anybody dies, nobody will tell you live that person, live the body, they say. They don't take my name. They will never say, अरे मस्कर को जरा धीरे से उठाओ. They will say body को हल्के से उठाओ. Simple बात है. So pranamaya kosh is very important. Prana is a vital energy, vital force. It is very much in my existence, in my gross level. So my gross is seen, but you cannot show prana. Can you show prana? No, you cannot show prana. It is through actions. It is through my metabolic processes going in the body. But prana can be sensed by only one thing, that is my breath. Till the time my breath is on, I am not nishprana. So pranamaya kosh is second, which is semi-gross. Then third one is manomaya kosh. Manomaya kosh is the major culprit, or we can say the major cause factor for imbalance in the work and life. Manomaya kosh is nothing but a composition of my mind. Mana, buddhi, ahankara and chitta. These are the four inner instruments. It's called as Antakaran Chatushtaya by Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya had described them, Mana, Buddhi, Ahankara and Chitta. These are the four inner instruments. Anta means inner and Karan means instrument, which are subtle. You cannot show. Can you say that I have no mind? But can you show my mind is of this much height, this much width? No. It is a very subtle existence in our body or in our existence. Allopathy doesn't accept mind. 1950 till 1950, they were not accepting that there is something like called a mind. After 1950, modern medicine has started understanding that there is a concept, something like called as the mind, which they connected with the uterus. So hysterectomy. So hysteria and mind are the two things which they initially developed as a concept. Now they have understood the concept of mind, and now they are also started believing the concept of spirituality also to some extent. So Manomaya kosh is the kosh, which is my mind, which is my mindset, my thought process, my entire thought process and my entire action process. So whenever I am connected with any work as a kriya, my mechanical mind works. Whenever my work is connected with the kartavya, my obedient mind works. And whenever my work is connected with the karma, my spiritual mind works. So under whose control my mind is, that depends, that makes my imbalance or balance state. So Manomaya kosh is the kosh where I have the mind as a sheath. Next one is Vijnanamaya kosh. Vijnanam is not science. Vijnana, V means Vishesh, or Jnana means knowledge. Or we can say Vivekanand. There are so many knowledgeable people, but how many are prudent? Viveka Buddhi, we call it, rational intelligence. Intelligence is abundantly available. Now there is artificial intelligence also, but it has no Vivek. Because of loss of Vivek only, artificial intelligence has taken birth, to be frank. So Viveka Buddhi means rational intelligence. That is the point where my balance starts, to be frank. And last one is Anandamaya kosh, which is my pure existence, which is beyond all these things. So whenever the concept of imbalance in the work and life comes, we have to ensure that all these 5 levels of my existence are in a balanced state. Then who disturbs that balance? Structurally, we are very much balanced. Unless there is something which is physically impairedness, there is imbalance on Annamaya kosh. But otherwise, there are 2 nostrils, breath is going on, mind is very much sharp, intellect is very good because it is seen in my mark sheet. That is the intelligence we believe today, which is not the real intelligence. So where the imbalance starts, it is starting in the mind. And who disturbs that mind? Emotions. Whenever your mind is working on the basis of intellect, it doesn't get deviated. बुद्धि impression अगर मन के ऊपर है तो मन का काम बराबर चले. It will be always in the karma mode. But the moment it goes with the emotions, emotional imbalance, emotional impact अगर हमारे विचारों पे है तो हमारी क्रिया या कर्तव्य हो जाता है. So that imbalance starts with the mindset issues. So we should always ensure that emotions should be controlled. Emotion should not overpower my thought process. Emotion is something which is very subtle. If you dissect this word E and motion, E means from inside and motion means giving stimulus. The thing which gives me stimulus from inside is emotion. And emotions are required to be controlled. They should not be either suppressed or they should be overexpressed. They should be sublimed. So sublimitation of emotions is the only thing which we can possibly do with the help of Bhakti Yoga, which we are going to handle that shortly. So once the thought process is getting disturbed, it accelerates my breath rate. How the imbalance starts? My work-life imbalance starts because of my mindset. I want to go to the work, but my mind says, क्या जाए? वहाँ इतना politics चलता है, वहाँ जाके क्या होने वाला है? Let us not go. I skip the work. So that guilt of skipping the work keeps on drilling my mind throughout the entire day. If I go there, I get frustrated. So all these things are continuously impacting my mind, and that mind imbalance keeps the breath level imbalanced. My breath is not properly happening. What is proper breathing? Nobody knows. Those who have come across with yogic concept, they only know what is breathing or proper breathing. Otherwise, everybody is, breathing क्या है? What is there to show? Look at breathing. वो तो ऐसा ही मिला है ना. From first breath till last breath, nobody bothers for the breath. If you don't take the first breath in time, people are anxious. And if you don't leave last breath in time, they are also anxious. In between, nothing anxiety. So we have to understand this concept. My breath rate is directly connected with my thought process. If I am balanced emotionally and mentally, and my breath is not going to accelerate, सवाल ही नहीं आता है. All are sitting in this now forum respectively in that particular places. Nobody has got imbalance in the breath because everybody is focused. So when the mind is focused, concentrated, without any deviation, it never impacts my breath. The moment my breath gets impacted, it gets distorted. Two organs start functioning very speedily, brain and heart. They are directly connected to each other. Brain understands that there is something wrong, so it starts giving a stimulus to my heart, electrical impulses. Once the electrical impulses stop, dangerous impulses of chemical level start. So when I am under the impression of chemical electrical impulses, I am still in a better condition. But the moment that work is not happening properly, my all impulses get shifted to chemical impulses. And when chemical impulses start happening, there is a havoc in the body. That is connected directly to the endocrine system or endocrine glands. It is very nicely said in one movie, Chemical Locha. A beautiful word. What is chemical locha? Imbalance in the endocrine gland secretions. Either no secretion or over secretion. That's all. It is observed that during the month of March and April, maximum people are suffering from high sugars. Because of there may be some reasons, examination fever, there may be targets, and once that entire things are over, in May the sugar comes down, even though you eat more mangoes. So chemical impacts are very dangerous in the body, which we never understand. And who stimulates them? My mindset and my breath. So this vicious circle continues. Mind, breath, and body. Very rarely it happens body, breath, and mind. And today we call these problems as psychosomatic disorders, manokayic vikara. Reason is in the mind, playing field in the body. It very rarely happens, reason is in the body and it impacts the mind. Even if there is a reason in the body, it is because of disturbed mind. Nazar hati, durghatana ghati. Of course, everywhere the mind is the major thing which either does or doesn't do it. So, the concept of this Panchakosh is nothing but a balance or imbalance between work and life. So, how to correct it? If I am having some work or if I am doing any karma, I have to look it from the different perspective altogether. Change the approach. Who is going to change the approach? Nobody else. I have to change my approach. When I think that I am doing it as a matter of kartavya. Let us understand I am doing it as a matter of kriya. No matter, doesn't matter. Don't try to enlighten it as a karma. I am doing kriya, that's all. Still it is okay. Because kriya over, my attention is over. Once I do it as a kartavya means again a emotion. Kriya, there is no emotion. Only mechanical action. कर्तव्य भावना होती है. यूज दिस वर्ड नो, कर्तव्य भावना में काम करते हैं. नहीं, मेरा कर्तव्य समझ के काम कर रहा हूँ, ठीक है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. Still that will not give you more imbalanced situation. But you never use the word karma bhavana. There is no issue of emotion attached to the concept of karma. Because karma is nothing but your destined thing. You have to do it. Whether you like it or not, whether you don't like it. It is to be done. So when I do it with liking, it doesn't give me much impact. But when I do it without liking, I have the problem. There are people who are keen to do the work, to do the job right. Understand this concept very clearly. There are so many people who are keen to do the work right, but they don't know whether they are doing right work. It's not only switching of the words. Doing work right is kartavya, and doing right work is karma. And when you are doing right work, it will never leave behind anything it is supposed to complete. It will complete the work and no balance is left out. So whatever I am having this life in my life, I need to understand that I have to carry on that as a carry forward of last life. Nullify it. Keep on reducing it. It can be negative, it can be positive. Even if it is positive, don't saturate that. Don't add. Keep on spending the balance in your karma vipak or karma balance. Karma bank we call it. In karma bank, keep on spending. Because if you don't spend, that carry forward can be negative or it can be positive. It can lead you to again Asuri or Devi Sampat. So next year or next life can be better or it can be worst. People keep on complaining, kya life mila hai yaar. Don't complain to the life. Because it is not your. It is by something which was carried forward by you in the last life. Whether you believe Punarjanma or not is not the issue. Incarnation, reincarnation is not a point of discussion here. But whatever we do, it gives us some results. Bhagavad Gita says, don't have the right on the results. There is a very nice saying by Swami Niranjan Saraswati of Bihar School of Yoga. He says, Bhagwan do baar hasta hai. God smiles 2 times. Firstly, when man says that he has done it, he smiles. And secondly, he smiles when man understands he has done nothing. So, the doing by me and the not doing by my, these are the 2 perspectives. If you keep one perspective fixed, you cannot have the problem of imbalance in the life. So, over expectations, doing the thing mechanically and doing it with the point of duty, they will keep on giving you some plus or minuses. So that is the point where we have to understand. So this concept of Panchakosh, imbalance happens in the Manomaya Kosh, which impacts my Pranamaya Kosh and which further impacts my Annamaya Kosh. How to correct it? There are various ways of correcting it. 4 paths they have given. Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga and Raja Yoga. Karma Yoga is not Kartavya Yoga. It is not Kriya Yoga. Kriya Yoga is one concept in yoga. That is not the point of discussion now. It is something different concept. Karma Yoga is nothing but doing the work selflessly. The moment I put I in that, it doesn't remain karma. It becomes the karma of that person. It doesn't remain the karma for whom I am doing it. I have to ensure that whatever I am doing as a return to the somebody who is not seen by me. I may be doing something very selflessly. Somebody may be directly or indirectly benefited, or somebody's loss may be mitigated. That is also a very important aspect. So do it without any expectations of acknowledgement, appreciation, or any prize or any medal, something like that. So that is the point This particular concept is very nicely given in Patanjali Yoga Darshan, Yamaniyam. How to correct it now? The distorted mindset is to be corrected with the help of pressures the mind is carrying. The mind carries tremendous pressure of all these expectations and non-expectations and fulfillment and non-fulfillment. To reduce that pressure, when that balloon is very heavily blown, you have to reduce that by releasing some air. You cannot just put one pin and burst it. No, that is also not good proposition. Slowly release the pressure on that. How to do that? For that, there are very beautiful ways given by Patanjali: social life and personal life. Whenever we think of balancing the life and work, first live for the society. How to live for the society? 5 things he has told. Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Aparigrah, Brahmacharya. These are the 5 ways in which you can return the thing to society. Whenever you do all these 5 things, you don't expect Ahimsa. I have not hurt you. You should say thank you. No way. Ahimsa is Ahimsa, that's all. So when you are doing something for the society and that is openly told, very interesting concept of Yamaniyam, Patanjali is not talking about the self first, he is talking about society first. We are a social animals. So we are social by action, by thought, and by deeds, all. So my 5 rules to behave in the society, if I observe, my pressure of misbehavior with the society gets reduced. There is an imbalance in the society's social life, personal life, and my work. I work for the society, when I keep on showing that, I don't get anything. But when I show it, when I don't show it, it gives me inner satisfaction. So my connectivity with the society as a small part of that particular segment is getting accomplished. So my social life makes me more aware about the obligations I am supposed to follow as a part of that social forum. Normally there are do's and don'ts. But here are in Patanjali Sutra, there are don'ts and do's. Don't do ahimsa. Don't do chori. Don't speak lie. So don'ts are first told. By doing this, observing these don'ts in your own way, you can really get a very nice lookout with the society. You don't start finding the culprits for your failures. Simple way. Whenever you fail, you don't find who is responsible for this. No. Nobody outside is responsible for me. I am. Then second is niyama. It is for my personal life. Shaucha, Santosha, Tapa, Swadhyaya, Ishwar, Pranidhana. Shaucha means Shuchita, purity. Santosha, contentment. Major problem is non-contentment. We are having a lot of means, we are having a lot of pleasures, but we are not having satisfaction. Contentment, Santosha, is such a state that it keeps you always connected to your work and life. 100%, beyond doubt. Tapa means tenacity, you have to do it. Swadhyaya, self-analysis, and submission to the God, surrender. Not doing it is not the solution. Doing it for somebody and not taking credit of that is Ishwar Pranidhana. I am only an instrument. There is always a difference between means and end. We always mix up. We treat ourselves as an end and try to find out whether that end is because of some wrong means. No. I am only an instrument and I have to follow that particular discipline. So once you start doing this Yamaniyam observance, your pressures on the mindset, on the mental monomycos, they get on easing out. Then you do something on the body level, which is connected with the physical movements like asana or something like that. That makes the metabolic imbalance correct. It's all balance, nothing but imbalance getting corrected. Neuromuscular coordination, digestive system, structurally all systems are perfectly designed, but functionally they are completely divergent. There is a complete cosmos in my structural pattern, but there is a complete chaos on my functional level. Who disturbs that? My mind and breath. So the moment I start practicing yoga or asana to some extent, I start getting a completely different perspective of my own body. The impact of asana is very beautifully explained by Patanjali. Tato dvandvana abhigata. Tato means that by doing asana in a proper way, dvandvon ka abhigat ho jata hai. Dvandva means dualities, imbalance. Imbalance gets restored and balance gets stored. And after that, I start with the pranayama. By pranayama practice, I can definitely make the balance of my 5 prana. There are 5 prans in our body: pran, apan, vyan, udan, and saman. And they are connected with my all functional system. Pran is connected with my circular respiratory system. Apana with excretory system. Vyana means circulatory system. Udana means nervous system. And samana digestive system. These 5 systems are imbalanced because of my thought process, because of my imbalance in the prana. So pranayam will restore this balance, not in one day. Definitely it is to be done with 2 basic principles, yathashakti and nirantar. These 2 words we keep on hammering on our students. Yathashakti means as per my today's capacity. And nirantar means continuous. Whatever time you find, 10 minutes, okay, no problem. Do it. Consistency only pays. We are consistently inconsistent. That is the major problem we all of us are facing. So that is the concept. Pranayam will bring my all systems and prana at a particular level. And once that is happening, my mindset starts getting changed. I don't react. There is a very simple solution for this. Instead of becoming response, try to become stimulus. We are always reactive. And we are seeing so many nonsense reactions around us that we can't keep away from that reactions. Whatever people speak, we keep on reacting. Don't react. Anna used to say very nice golden sentence. He used to say, as I have right to react, I have right not to react also. Not reacting is nothing but pratyahar. No imbalance will happen unless you stop reacting. Reactions only create the imbalance. Because I react on that, somebody else will give reaction on that, all things will get reacted. So no reaction doesn't mean that you are indifferent. There are 2 words, very interesting words. Tatastha, Trayastha. Tatastha means impartial. Trayastha means indifferent. Don't be indifferent. Because you are a social person. You have to live in the life. You cannot live the life. You can't relinquish the life. No way. Enjoy every moment. For that, you have to be within the life. If you want to fight with the system, be with the system. Don't give up, go away from the system. So that is the point where we have to understand is. So pratyahar means no reactions, or reactions only to self, not for others. This self-reaction also will start getting mutilated day by day, and you will become completely impartial towards what is happening around us. Then you go to the concept of dharana. Dharana means confinement of the mind. At dharana stage, my Vijnanamaya course starts working. Right from my Annamaya to Pranamaya, Manomaya, these 5 stages of Ashtanga Yoga, Yamaniyam, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahara, they operate. The moment I go step further and dharana state, it becomes a very simple thing for me. So I don't react for everything, and my approach towards the entire happenings around me, that become equal. Equanimity is the very important thing which we are lost today. We are always trying to find out some faults. Start appreciating. Don't expect acknowledgement. If you start appreciating, people will acknowledge immediately. Without appreciation, we expect acknowledgement. That's the major problem. Dharana is that particular concept which makes my Vijnanamaya coach in a balanced state. So my entire imbalance, which is in the stage of my life as well as my work, it becomes a sort of balance. I don't say that it will happen in a day. Before I conclude my talk, I will give you 2 things. One is told by Gaur Gopal Das. He gives very nice examples, very small one. He said in one of the classes, the professor said, I will write one sentence on the board. And for that, you have to write the answer. And all the words will be having only 2 letters, 2 alphabets. If it is to be, he writes on the board. If it is to be. Everything has 2 words, 2 alphabets. The answer is, it is up to me. Are you getting my point? If it is to be, it is up to me. I have to decide whether to remain in imbalanced state or to remain in balanced state. Because nobody can create imbalance in your life unless you allow it. My uncle was a doctor. There were a lot of problems in Gujarat some years back. So there were a lot of communal issues. That time he used to write us the letters, what is happening in Gujarat. In one letter, he said a very beautiful line: unless you bend, nobody can stand on your head. I am the allowing person. I am allowing it to. I am allowing others to operate my life. And I am saying that there is imbalance in my life and work. No way. To conclude, one message finally: put life in your work, and life will work for you. Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you very much. I think 5 minutes are there so that you can conclude with the vote of thanks. We will complete exactly at 5 o'clock. Afterwards, if somebody has to ask any question, they can go. But our schedule is up to 5 o'clock.
On behalf of Vivekanand Education Society, College of Pharmacy, I feel honored and privileged to propose vote of thanks on this occasion. I will like to say a big thank you to our today's speaker, Shrikrishna Mhaskar ji, Head of Yoga Department, Ghantali Mitra Mandal, and Secretary of IYA Maharashtra Unit for delivering such a beautiful webinar on work-life balance. Yes, indeed it is required to have a harmony between the different aspects of life. Thank you, sir, for giving various examples and making us understand the techniques of maintaining the equilibrium of work-life balance. I would like to say a big thank you to all Ghantali Mitra Mandal team for organizing this webinar in collaboration with Vivekanand Education Society, College of Pharmacy. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you, our trustee, Shri B.L. Bulani ji, for providing support and constant source of motivation. I would like to put on records my thanks to Professor Jana Das Madam for her valuable support. I will also like to express my gratitude to Principal Madam Dr. Supriya Shide for providing facilities, perfect logistics, and encouraging the happening of this seminar. I would like to thank all the participants, including teaching staff, non-teaching staff, all principals, MPharm students, and all yoga sadhaks from various institutes and places for attending this webinar and being so active listeners. I'm confident that each one of you has taken some message from this webinar. I also thank to those whom I might have forgotten to mention. Lastly, I would like to thank the Almighty for making this event a grand success. Thank you all.
I would like to also thank Dr. Satish Pathak sir, who is present here, who has also been introduced as the chairman of Indian Yoga Association. So thank you, sir, for coordinating this activity for us. And it was really a wonderful session by Shri Mhaskar sir. I am one of his students. He had so far guided more than 3,000 students. And very recently, I have completed yoga diploma in yoga education from this esteemed institution.
She is in merit.
And I'm really privileged to have you, sir, with us today as a speaker, because throughout the year we had such enlightening session by you that the interest in this particular field has gone deeper and deeper, and also we have got in-depth insights about this field and its miraculous impact on your day-to-day life. So you are a living legend, sir, when it comes to yoga, and you are transmitting that passion of yoga to all of us who are audience, who are your student, and who are coming in your company in the field of yoga. So thank you, sir, for your presence. The audience, if you have any question or a doubt, please feel free to ask to sir. We have 2 minutes for question answers. With your permission, sir.
No problem. I will request you one thing, just spread this particular syllabus or our application to our colleagues so that if anybody is interested to join our diploma, they can do it. Those who are in out of Thane, they can join online. No problem. So everybody can have that facility. So just spread that particular concept to all of your colleagues, so that anybody can get inspiration to join the course.
Definitely, because I could do the regular day-to-day work and also I could complete this course simply because the hand holding was very effective. We were coached very nicely. We were given a lot of study material. Though this was a weekend course, I mean, I could easily do it because I'm not from Thane. I had an online facility available to complete this course. We were given all the study material through Google Drive. All lectures, recorded lectures were also shared. So all the books, study material, recorded lectures, and wonderful sessions. So the journey was, it was challenging, but it was not difficult. And it was very much interesting. So I would promote this diploma in yoga education to all my colleagues who are present
Sure.
here from pharmacy, fraternity. And I must accept that the course designed by Ghantali Mitra Mandal is really holistic and in-depth. So if you can complete this course, you become eligible to appear for level 3 of Yoga Certification Board of Ministry of Ayush. That itself exemplifies that it is much beyond degree. In fact, I was sharing with my parents, I found it so in-depth that I had a feeling as if I'm doing master's program in pharmacy again. It was that much holistic and in detail. So thank you so much, Ghantali Mitra Mandal, for designing this course. And you all must, if you have love for yoga, you must approach this yoga vibhag of GMM and explore the possibility of taking some courses under GMM banner.
Sure.
And thank you, sir, Satish sir. It was a wonderful platform that you have given to us to interact